You know what most men don't realize until it's too late? That women almost never say directly, "I'm not interested in you." They don't need to. They show it with their energy, their silence, their delays, their lack of effort. Men keep convincing themselves that maybe she's shy, or maybe she's just busy, or maybe she needs more time. Number. You need a reality check. And you need it from someone who actually understands the psychology behind what women do when they've already decided you're not the one. Because I'm going to tell you the truth that a lot of men don't hear until they've been drained, used, lied to, or ignored for so long that their confidence is in pieces. But here's the good news. Once you understand the signs, you stop chasing women who don't respect you. You stop overthinking. You stop begging for clarity. And more importantly, you stop wasting your time on someone who already threw you into the maybe if I'm bored category. If you're new here, make sure you subscribe because most men don't get this kind of honesty. I'm not here to sugarcoat anything for you. I'm here to show you how to protect your energy, how to move with more self-respect, and how to stop giving your attention to women who don't deserve it. And if you're going to keep watching this, I want you to do it with one thing in mind. Be brutally honest with yourself. Don't defend her. Don't defend the situation. Don't defend your feelings. Just listen and ask yourself, does any of this apply to the woman you're thinking about right now? Because if it does, you already know what that means. Most men give their best to the wrong woman because they don't understand detachment. They don't understand how to read behavior. They don't understand how quiet rejection actually looks. Marcus Aurelius said, "If it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it." Women follow that in reverse. If she doesn't want you, she won't show it with her mouth. She'll show it with her actions. Your problem isn't that you can't see the truth. It's that you don't want to accept it. So, let's get into it. I'm going to break down 7 things women do when they're not actually interested in you, even if they pretend otherwise, even if you think you're making progress, even if you've convinced yourself it just needs time. And as I go through this, I want you to answer one painful question with every point. Are you ignoring the signs because you don't want to face the reality that she doesn't want you? Let's start. 1. She makes you earn the bare minimum. You know what's funny? When a woman really likes a man, everything becomes easy. She replies fast. She initiates sometimes. She's curious. She makes herself available. She gives her attention without being begged for it. Do you know why? Because desire makes effort feel natural. Interest removes resistance. A woman who genuinely wants you won't make you prove your worth just to get a basic conversation out of her. But when she's not interested, suddenly everything is a chore. She takes hours or days to reply. Not because she's busy, but because she doesn't care. She gives you one-word answers, dry energy, or delayed responses that are so empty, you start writing paragraphs just to keep the conversation alive. She acts like giving you attention is a gift, and you should be grateful for the crumbs she gives. Here's the part most men don't get. If she wanted you, she wouldn't risk you losing interest. She wouldn't be passive. She wouldn't test how long you can chase her with no reward. Seneca said, "Time is what we want most, but what we use worst." And you, right now, are probably using your time on a woman who would never spend hers on you unless it benefits her. Think about this. Why are you working so hard to get what another man might get instantly? Why are you trying to convince someone to like you when genuine interest doesn't need convincing? If she makes you earn the bare minimum, her time, her energy, her attention, she's not into you. And here's the real question. Do you actually want her, or do you just want to feel chosen by someone who keeps rejecting you in slow motion? Have you noticed how you justify her behavior? You tell yourself she's not a phone person, yet she's always online posting something. You tell yourself she's not good at texting, but she responds to other people within seconds. You excuse everything because you don't want to face what her energy has already told you. She does not see you the way you see her. Stop confusing indifference with mystery. Stop confusing laziness with subtlety. A woman who's forcing you to chase every ounce of her attention is not mysterious. She's just not interested. And if you keep chasing, you're not being persistent. You're being available for your own rejection. Ask yourself, why do you think you need to win someone over to be worthy of their interest? At what point do you realize that the more effort you put in, the less she values it? Once you stop giving attention to women who drain you, you'll see how fast the wrong ones disappear and how quickly the right ones start showing up. 2. She treats you like a backup option. Let me be very clear. When a woman is genuinely drawn to a man, she makes space for him in her life, emotionally, mentally, physically. You are not an afterthought. You are not a placeholder. She doesn't circle back to you when her plans fail. She doesn't respond only when she's bored or lonely. She doesn't treat you like a background tab she opens and closes whenever it's convenient. But when she's not interested, you become the safety net, the just in case. The guy she hits up when the man she actually wants stops giving her attention. You're not the one she thinks about first. You're the one she falls back on when plan A, B, and C disappear. You'll notice it if you stop lying to yourself. She only texts you at random hours. She never confirms plans. She never prioritizes you. She keeps you orbiting, but she never lets you land. Epictetus said, "You become what you give your attention to." So what does it make you when you constantly give attention to someone who only remembers you when she has nothing better to do? Men lose their self-worth slowly because they think proximity to a woman is the same as being chosen by her. It's not. There's a difference between access and desire. A woman might give you access, but not because she wants you. Sometimes it's just because she wants to keep you as an option. Here's the part that stings. If you disappeared, she wouldn't chase you. She'd replace you, quickly, without hesitation. You think she's complicated, but she's actually just detached. You think she's taking things slow, but she's just keeping you in the background while she focuses on someone else. You ever notice how she never gives you direct rejection? She doesn't tell you to stop calling. She doesn't block you. She doesn't cut you off. Do you know why? Because she wants to keep you available, not valued, available. She wants the comfort of knowing you're there, even if she never plans to fully choose you. That is not interest. That is possession without commitment. Let me give you a question that should shake you a little. If you stopped initiating contact with her today, not tomorrow, not next week, would you ever hear from her again? Or would she simply move on with her life like nothing changed? Because if the only time you talk is when you reach out first, you are not a priority. You are a placeholder. Stop letting women audition you for roles they never plan to cast you in. Stop giving consistency to someone who only gives you convenience. The painful truth is this. Some of you are more loyal to the idea of being chosen than you are to your own standards. And until you break that attachment, you will keep being the backup plan in someone else's life instead of the main character in your own. The most dangerous place a man can live is in denial. You can tell yourself she's just not ready for something serious, or she needs time, or she's been hurt before. But here's the reality. When a woman truly wants a man, she makes it known through presence, not excuses. And if you don't hold yourself to that truth, you'll keep taking whatever scraps of attention she gives and calling it potential. It's not potential. It's avoidance. And you deserve better than being the emotional waiting room for someone who already made her decision about you. So ask yourself, are you holding on to her because she's special, or because you're afraid no one else will want you? because that fear is exactly why she knows you'll stay as her backup, even while she pursues someone else. 3. She's comfortable letting you do all the work. A woman who likes you meets you halfway, or at least shows signs that she wants to. She doesn't sit back while you do all the thinking, all the planning, all the talking, all the effort. But when she's not actually interested, she'll let you carry everything because she doesn't care if you burn out. And here's the part you don't want to admit. She knows you're desperate enough to keep trying, even while she gives nothing. You're always the one texting first. You're always the one asking to hang out. You're always the one trying to keep the energy alive. You initiate every conversation, every plan, every call. If you stopped tomorrow, it would go completely silent. And deep down, you know that. Women don't operate like that with men they're drawn to. Desire makes them reciprocate without forcing it. You won't have to remind her you exist. You won't have to chase her shadow. You won't have to convince her to treat you like a priority. Interest makes her participate. Disinterest makes her passive. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be." B1 applied here? Stop arguing with yourself about whether she likes you. Start acting like a man who only invests where energy is matched. But many of you are stuck in a mindset that says, if I try a little harder, maybe she'll start liking me. Number. The harder you try with the wrong woman, the less she respects you. Because effort without reciprocation does not show dedication. It shows a lack of self-worth. Ask yourself this. When was the last time she planned something for you? When was the last time she checked in first? When was the last time she put in effort without you setting it up? If you can't name a single example, that tells you everything. You keep thinking she's going with the flow, but the only thing flowing is your energy straight into someone who won't return it. Some of you are scared that if you stop trying, everything will fall apart. And guess what? That's exactly how you know she doesn't want you. If a connection only exists when you force it, it was never real in the first place. Here's a question you need to confront. Why do you believe that your consistency will make someone love you, instead of recognizing that mutual connection is supposed to be natural? A man who knows his worth doesn't chase indifference. He recognizes it and walks away before it drains him. 4. Her words and actions don't match. A woman who wants to keep you around without actually choosing you will speak in a way that keeps you hopeful, but act in a way that keeps you confused. She'll say things like, "We'll hang out soon," "I've just been busy," or "I'm not ready for something serious right now." But pay attention. Those words are comfort pillows, not commitments. When she tells you she likes talking to you, but never makes time to see you, that's not interest. When she says she's not dating right now, but you see her entertaining other men, that's not honesty. That's selective interest. When she says she values you, but you're never prioritized, that's not a complicated situation. That's avoidance dressed as diplomacy. You keep believing what she says because it's easier than accepting what she shows. But Epictetus said, if you want the truth, don't argue, observe. If you applied that to your love life, you'd walk away from half the women you currently chase. You need to understand this. Women do not forget to respond to men they're attracted to. They don't ignore messages from the guy they desire. They don't lose interest in the middle of a conversation with someone they're genuinely drawn to. When she wants you, you will feel it. When she doesn't, you will question it. Stop romanticizing mixed signals. Mixed signals are not mysterious. They're manipulative. They exist to keep you in the gray area where she benefits from your attention without having to give anything real in return. She'll tell you, "We'll see," when you ask her out. She'll tell you, "Maybe this weekend." She'll forget to text back for 3 days, but suddenly reappear when another guy disappoints her. She'll post pictures with captions about being unbothered while keeping you emotionally hooked just in case she gets lonely later. And here's what you need to remember. A woman's words are cheap when her behavior doesn't back them up. Her actions are the truth. So the real question is, are you listening to her mouth or her reality? Why do you keep accepting explanations instead of evaluating patterns? Why do you take excuses as if they're proof of potential? At what point do you stop negotiating with what you wish she felt and start acknowledging what she's already shown you? Men who don't respect themselves wait for clarity. Men who do respect themselves make decisions based on behavior. Which one are you? 5. She only responds to the energy that benefits her. When a woman doesn't see you as someone she wants to invest in, she'll still engage with you, but only selectively. Not because she's interested in you, but because she's interested in what she gets from you. Maybe it's validation, maybe it's attention, maybe it's favors, maybe it's your time. But notice something. She only appears when you're offering something she can use. You message her something genuine, and she ignores it. You ask her to hang out, and she ghosts you. But the moment you post something intriguing or she needs something, suddenly she's there. Not for you. For the benefit you provide. You become the ego boost, the emotional support, the attention supply, the guy who hypes her up when she's bored, sad, or wants to feel wanted. Seneca said, "You act like mortals in what you fear and immortals in what you desire." That applies perfectly here. You're afraid to lose her, so you act like your energy is infinite. You give and give and give as if the supply can't run out, and she takes as if you owe it to her. But let me tell you something that might sting. If she only responds when it serves her, she's not interested in you. She's interested in the utility you provide. And here's the worst part. She knows you'll stick around anyway. You see it when she ignores deep conversations but replies instantly to compliments. When you try to connect on a real level, she disappears. But when you give her attention that feeds her ego, she's right there. Think about how often you felt used, but stayed because, at least she's talking to me. That's not connection. That's dependency on crumbs. Here's a question for you. If you stopped giving her attention, compliments, time, or favors, would she still talk to you? Or would she move on to the next man willing to feed her ego? Women know which men have standards and which ones just want proximity. She won't risk losing the man she actually wants, but she's fine losing the one she only keeps around for convenience. So which one are you to her? The man she values, or the man she uses when it suits her? The man who centers himself doesn't ask for permission to stop pouring into someone who never pours back. He evaluates the exchange. He asks, does she show up even when I'm not giving her something? If the answer is no, then so is her interest, no matter what excuses you come up with for her behavior. You need to start recognizing the difference between a woman who interacts with you because she wants connection and a woman who engages because she wants consumption. One leads to intimacy. The other drains your sense of worth quietly. 6. She doesn't care if you walk away. One of the clearest signs a woman isn't interested in you is how indifferent she is to the idea of losing you. She doesn't try to fix things. She doesn't check in when you pull back. She doesn't ask what's wrong. Your silence doesn't bother her. Your absence doesn't affect her. Your distance doesn't make her curious. It makes you forgettable. A woman who values you will notice when your tone changes, when your energy pulls back, when your presence fades from her routine. Even if she's not ready for something serious, she won't let you drift without acknowledgement. But when she doesn't care, she lets the connection die without hesitation, as if it never existed. You know this feeling. You stop texting her, and she doesn't ask why. You stop flirting, and she doesn't react. You go quiet, and she doesn't chase your attention. Meanwhile, you convince yourself she's giving you space. Number, she just doesn't care enough to close the gap. Epictetus said, "You are disturbed not by what happens, but by your opinion about what happens." You tell yourself she's just busy, just focused on herself, just not a communicator. Because the truth is harder to face. She wouldn't notice your absence unless it inconvenienced her. Here's the real test. Remove your attention completely. Not halfway, not inconsistently, but entirely. Does she reach out? Does she put in effort? Does she show any concern about the shift? Or does she move on without a second thought? So many men are afraid to do this because they already know the answer deep down. They know if they stop reaching out, they'll disappear from her world like they were never there. And instead of accepting that as a sign to move forward, they rush back in with more effort, more compliments, more attention, trying to revive something she already buried in her mind. Ask yourself a question that might hurt, but will wake you up. If a woman is completely comfortable losing you, why are you afraid of losing her? A man who fears detachment has already abandoned his power. A man who walks away from indifference reclaims it. She's not scared to lose you. But why aren't you scared to lose yourself by staying? 7. Her interest only exists in your imagination. You know what's dangerous? When a man falls in love with the version of a woman he created in his head instead of the one standing in front of him. You build stories. You analyze moments. You turn coincidences into signs. You convince yourself she cares because she laughed at a joke, replied eventually, or didn't block you. You create commitment where there is zero intention. Women rarely correct these assumptions if it benefits them. They'll let you believe there's something there because it keeps you available, attentive, and easy to use. And here's the brutal truth. The longer you hold on to your fantasy, the more she controls the reality. Marcus Aurelius said, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." If your thoughts keep painting her as the one who will eventually realize your worth, you'll keep ignoring the glaring evidence that she's not thinking about you at all. You blind yourself with hope because accepting the truth would force you to confront how much time you've wasted. Men don't just get rejected by women. They get rejected by the illusions they refuse to let go of. You replay old conversations. You overthink every interaction. You convince yourself that if you just wait long enough, she'll see you differently. But she already decided what box to put you in. You're just too scared to admit it. You need to ask yourself something that takes courage. Have you mistaken tolerance for interest? Because a woman can tolerate your presence without ever wanting you. She can reply to you without ever respecting you. She can talk to you without ever choosing you. You don't need more signs. You don't need more time. You don't need one more shot. What you need is clarity. The kind that comes when you stop negotiating with your own imagination. Let me ask you a question you might not be ready for. Do you actually like her? Or are you addicted to the idea of finally being chosen by someone who keeps rejecting you quietly? A man who builds stories stays stuck. A man who reads reality moves forward. Until you stop living in the world you created in your mind, you'll keep waiting for a woman who's already moved on from you. Here's the truth most men don't want to swallow. Women don't reject you with words. They reject you with patterns. The signs were there the whole time. You just didn't want to face them. But now you can't pretend you don't see it. If she gives you crumbs, if she keeps you as a backup, if she disappears when you pull away, if she only comes around when she benefits, she is not interested in you. And the longer you tolerate it, the more you train yourself to accept disrespect as affection. The strongest move you can make is walking away before she has the chance to dismiss you. Self-respect isn't about being chosen. It's about refusing to beg for a place in someone's life. Subscribe for more, because I'm not done telling men the truth no one else will say to their face, and when you're ready to hear it, I'll be right here waiting.